Immediately afterwards, we saw a lot of different and misleading narratives online. Some of these social media posts were almost exact copies of what happened before the US election.
A lot of newsrooms across India started shutting down their divisions. They started laying off people, and people were not prepared at that time. The pandemic actually shut down almost 2/3 of the economy, and the collateral damage was enormous. They were wasting substantial time actually chasing these rumors.
Vaccine misinformation was very much tied to the situation in the city. The pandemic started right at the end of the pro-democracy protest, so at the time society was very divided, probably more so than ever before.
People believe that Chinese government is actually, disseminating this different table or chart inside the country. So we fact-checked that and realized that it's not true at all. Chinese government's official line is US was #1, and you can actually see lots of congratulating tweets from Chinese government officials to US athletes. Chinese government officials retweeted this image of Afghans being left out in the airport. But if you reverse image search, the photo actually came from an artistic work shot in California in the US. But so the image itself is there to attract people's eyeballs. But more problematic is the actual claims associated with those images. They can be very misleading, and often they are politicized. And that kind of misinformation is actually potentially very harmful because, people decide not to get vaccinated.
In attempts to deal with the virus, governments have introduced laws and other sorts of measures to combat things like fake news and misinformation. But in doing so, they've actually ended up stifling journalists' ability to do their jobs and practice legitimate journalism.
Not even a day passed when we did not wake up to or sleep to a sad news of someone who's passed away because of the COVID. All the news actually caused a lot of mental trauma as well.
People are so resistant and so stubborn in clinging to and again, not their facts or their reality, to their side or their team. They've decided that they're on the side that doesn't take vaccines and that doesn't wear masks and so on, and they're not going to betray their side.
I think it's a real possibility that as the world opens up, as the region opens up, that sentiment will start to dissipate and the region can then become more connected again.